Hello viewers, here's a very small lamp. Thought these are kind of neat. You can see it's very small. And I got it home, I plugged it up, I put a bulb in, and it didn't light up. As is fairly typical, it is made in China. It's probably one of the reasons why I couldn't get it to work. So anyways, we're going to have to go inside here and see what the problem is. I don't know how you mess up a lamp. It's a simple screw-in socket. How bad could it be? Well, let's find out here. This is kind of difficult to get off. Okay, and the cord's all knotted up. So, here's the socket that doesn't work. Now my initial thought was to go in here and see, the way these work is we have two contacts in here. We have the and I don't know which one is what side, but we have the contact. I would guess that this contact at the bottom is the hot contact, and this contact is the neutral. So typically when you have a lamp that doesn't work, you come in here and you bend this tab out and it works. I tried doing that, and as soon as it passed the threshold of where it would actually contact the bulb wouldn't screw in. So then I got mad and used a little more force, and then the whole thing just fell apart. And I believe this just kind of came right out. Well, if it's back in there, good for it, but it came out. And I jammed it back in. But anyways, so it's all sorts of jacked up now. And gotta figure out how to fix this, because I'd like to use this lamp. Now, I don't know exactly how this comes apart. I don't know if it's going to break in the process. I wouldn't be surprised. Or it's actually just going to come right out and be fine. Oh dear, look at that. That's as cheap as it comes. So I'm guessing the wires just kind of insert in here. And that would explain why, well, actually that wouldn't explain why it doesn't work. It would explain why this can come out without damaging it. But by golly, is this cheap. It's kind of amazing to me that something so simple in design still doesn't work. Yeah, that's what happened before. It just kind of came right out. But now I see the it looks like the wire just goes right in between there, and so we can stick this back in there and it should be fine. So that does beg the question, why doesn't it work? I may have to pull the base of this off and feed some cord back up through there. By golly, it's only cardboard in there. So here's our strain relief. I'm going to go ahead and undo that so we can thread some slack back up into there and hopefully reinsert the socket, the cord into the socket. Or not. That doesn't really want to move. Yeah, I see why, because the cord is too short. I mean, not the cord is too short. The, does this come off here? It does. The reason it's not working is because the wire is too big for this crazy thing. You can actually see where they jammed it in there. And it's like shrunk down as they stuffed it up into there. Oh man, this thing is cheap. I mean, I knew that, but this is ridiculous. Well, let's just see if I can get it to work, you know, just in a freer environment like this. Because if it doesn't work like this, I don't understand what in the world is wrong with this thing. I think the wire's just kind of jamming there like that. I don't like that. It doesn't seem very secure. but let's see what happens. See, this was the issue I was having before. When I go to screw it in, let's see, I can't get this on a good video here. When I go to screw it in, it just all the lights I have in here, I can't believe this is not coming in to the video. What's happening is the contact kind of like goes, this contact goes under the socket and just ends up getting pushed down, which is actually kind of dangerous, instead of just, you know, being next to the bulb and making a connection. So I'm going to figure out how to get this in there without that happening. Perhaps some assistance with the screwdriver may be necessary. That's ridiculous to have to change the bulbs like that, but whatever. This is crazy. Okay, that worked. So I got the contact to be where it's supposed to be. Go ahead and plug this thing in and see what happens. It may short out or blow up or something, I don't know. What in the world? It still doesn't work? Alright, I have to get the meter out. And we're going to do some continuity testing here, because I don't understand why this lamp isn't working. Perhaps the switch is spoiled or something stupid like that. Alright, so let's just check the cord first. I'm going to switch this to on. Let's see if we get any connectivity here. Okay. So the cord seems to check out okay. Let's see what's going on with the contacts here. Alright, so in theory it seems like it's working okay. So perhaps we're going back to my original issue with, I don't believe this is making a good connection to the bulb. So I'm going to try to manipulate this and maybe just change the shape of it a little bit. Like that, perhaps. Maybe that'll work better. Oh, it would work better if I could get the thing in place. Which I don't seem to possess the capacity to do that. Good golly. Alright, let's try that. Oh man, just came out again. I don't understand what holds this in place. Alright, I've bent the contacts. Let's see. Wants to power up. That would be a huge no. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and say that we have to get a new socket for this. And probably a whole new plug. I don't know how this thing works. There's got to be a short in here somewhere. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this wiring out, because maybe this is pinched inside somewhere, because this is way too big to be in there. I'm going to rewire this whole thing with a thinner wire and a whole new socket, because this is clearly not safe.